Today, we're at UT Austin to ask students about the FDA. In an upcoming Supreme Court case, FDA versus Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, the court will decide whether the FDA will be held accountable for removing the safety standards it originally deemed necessary to ensure the health and safety of women and girls using these high-risk abortion drugs. Let's see what these students think. What is the FDA?
FDA. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it means.
Do you know what it stands for?
Federal something, I don't know.
I don't know.
It has to do with like food, right, and drug regulation.
Yeah.
Food and Drug
Federal,
Administration. The Food and Drug Administration.
So there's actually a case right now at the Supreme Court regarding these safeguards and whether the FDA will be held accountable for taking away safeguards without proper research and evidence, and it's regarding chemical abortion drugs that are high risk. Does that concern you that a drug like that doesn't have the safeguards necessary?
Yeah, I mean, considering that it used to have those restrictions, I mean, I just don't think a drug can automatically or like sporadically be safe. So like taking away that safeguard is really scary because like then people are going to start taking the drug without them even knowing. So
They don't have to talk to like a doctor about it. Yeah, I think that is concerning. Yeah.
That's not a drug that should be published to the public. Like, we don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah, I don't think that's a great idea. I mean, if it has certain protocols, they have protocols for a reason. I don't think you should take it away for no reason.
That sounds bad on a surface level, yeah.
That's not right.
I think it isn't smart to make such a decision like that, especially so erratic, and not considering, like you said, women that are pregnant and the after effects of a decision like that. I don't know if that decision was based economically, but it definitely wasn't morally right. So that's my opinion of it.
It just seems not safe mentally and physically.
Right, like to be an advocate for women wouldn't be to be against these protocols. It would jeopardize them.
Yeah, it's not necessarily an anti-abortion thing. It's a safe abortion argument.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So this drug, mifepristone, actually has a label on it that says about 1 in 25 women who take the drug are going to go to the ER. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I feel like that's enough to take it off shelves. Like 1 in 25, that's way too high. That's way too high, especially with the population of the U.S. What is it, like in the hundreds of millions? 1 in 25? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely a high risk. I think a lot of women shouldn't be able to take. Not at all. That's not a good risk at all, in my opinion.
at this point, I don't understand why they would still sell that drug because that's so dangerous.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if I would take it based on that.
Roughly 1 in 25 women will go to the ER. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm a gambling man. No, sorry. Those are pretty high chances, I'll be honest with you.
Like taking the drug at home, like 1 in 25? Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think it kind of contradicts itself in a little bit. Like it doesn't make sense to put a label that says you can potentially go to the hospital, but then not giving people the regulations and the awareness about that. So it's kind of weird. I don't know why they would do that.
You're jeopardizing the woman's body. You're jeopardizing another human being. It's just reckless for an agency to do that.
If they are the administration that, put it out there and was supposed to go through certain, safety measures, then if my health is compromised, then sure, I'd like there to be some accountability.
Yeah, I think if the FDA says something's safe and it's not, I think, yeah, they're accountable for that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, it's like their job to protect like the American people.
They definitely should be held accountable for that.
If I was to give a kid a pair of scissors and not teach him how to use them, I can't be surprised like when that kid cuts himself. So like it's the same situation with the FDA. Like if they're gonna put out a drug that could potentially hurt people, if not used properly or if not guided with the right resources, they can't be surprised when people are getting hurt due to the drug that they put out when they're not even providing the resources.
I think that like anyone, whether they care that women have abortions or not, like they should care about the person like being safe, staying alive, being able to access just like medication that like helps them and doesn't harm them.
Many students agree that by removing critical safeguards for women taking abortion drugs, the FDA failed to abide by its legal obligations to protect our health, safety, and welfare. The FDA must be held accountable for recklessly endangering women and girls. To find out more about this Supreme Court case, visit adflegal.org/FDA.